Good afternoon, all. Welcome to Advanced Excel Training 2010, Session 5. So, participants are joining on the way. We'll start shortly. Everyone, please confirm in a chat window. Can able to see my screen and you can able to hear my voice properly. Thank you. Thanks for your confirmation. Fine. So, in a previous session, we discussed about the conditional formatting type 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then conditional formatting with the formula, and then format painter, transformation, and then multiple values. So, today we are going to start session 5. So, we are going to discuss 6 major topics today, starting with fill series. So, under a fill series, there are 5 different types we are going to discuss, and then justify, and then fill across, filter and sorting, and advanced filter, and then grouping. So, these are all the 6 different topics that is planned for today. I hope everyone joined the session. I started recording this particular session so that you can use the same for your future reference. First, we'll start with fill series. There are 5 different topics we are going to discuss under a fill series, starting with a linear, and then a growth, and then a date, and then a autofill, and finally trend. So these are all the 5 different subtopics we are going to discuss under the concept of fill series. So let's start with the first concept in a fill series, that is fill series linear. So first I will tell you the navigation to the fill series. Here you can see the navigation. Go to Home Command tab and then go to Editing, Command Set, and then click on a fill. Seshagri, are you able to see my screen now? Fine. So I am just telling you the navigation to the corresponding concept. Under a Home, under a Editing Command Set, you can see something called as a fill. So here we are going to discuss the available options down, right, up and left, and then across the worksheet, and then series, and then a justify. So we are going to discuss one by one. So first let's start with these particular 5 commands: down, right, up and left. So we already know that using the shortcut Control D under Control R, you can able to copy a data from here towards the down and from here towards the right. The same can be achieved using a fill down also. If you click on a fill and then a down, whatever the content that is available above, that will be filled below. Say for example, if I select a range, if I select some range, go to fill and click on a down, go to fill, click on a down, that will create a copy towards the down till the end of a range that is selected by a user. Similarly, if you want to fill it towards the right, you can just click on a fill right. Similarly, if you want to fill towards the left, click on a fill left. Similarly, if you want to click fill up, you can click on a fill up. So this way, user can able to fill the values available in a one cell to a different cell or a range using the concept of a fill, down, right, up or a left. Right. So similarly, the next one very important concept here is going to be the fill series. So we are going to start with the fill series now. In a fill series, if I click on a series, one dialog box will be opened in a system. So you can see it in a dialog box, series in rows or a columns, and then type linear growth, date or a autofill, and then a step value, stop value, trend. So let's see one by one. Here the date unit is deactivated, right? The moment when you click on a date type, you can see that 4 different date units, day, week, day, month and a year will be activated to the user. Let's see all these options one by one. Let's start with the type linear now. Fill series linear is going to be the scenario now. The concept behind a linear is going to be the addition or a summation we perform it. So linear, fill series linear is equivalent to the addition or a summation performed by a user. So fill series, we are going to generate our first string pattern here using the concept of fill series linear. For that, first we have to provide the first value from which particular value you want to generate the string pattern. So that we have to provide and then go to home command tab under editing command set, click on a filter and click on a fill and then click on a series. So here first it is asking for series in a single row or a single column. So let's start with a single column first. Single column means it will create a string pattern vertically along a column wise, right? And then the type is going to be the linear for this particular scenario. So I told linear is equivalent to the summation or addition. And let's see the trend in the next scenario. Here you can see the step value. So step value means here the value is 1. So what is the next value you want? Say for example, I want 2 as the next value, then you can provide the step value as a 1. So 1 plus 1 equal to 2, right, and goes on. And stop value. So we told that fill the series, but we never told where to stop. We never told where to stop. So let's see, stop the value when it becomes a 8. So the starting point, the entry point is going to be 1, the step value. So what is the addition we have to make? 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, and goes on. So that is the step value, and the stop value is 8. When this particular string pattern meets the value as a 8, that position we have to stop. Click OK. Right? So you can see the pattern of a string is generated for a user starting with a 1 and ending with a 8. Reason why it is ending with the 8, because we given it stop value as a 8 and step value as a 1. Stop value is 8 and step value is 1. 1, how it comes? 1 addition, because it is a linear, so it will do a addition. 1 plus the above value is going to be the next value. Similarly, and goes on. 4, 5, 6, and 8. So what happens after this 8? The value becomes a 9, but it won't print the value 9 because we given a stop value as 8 only. So when it attains the value 8, it stops the string pattern generation and then displays the output to the user. Right? Similarly, fill series row with the same linear concept only. Step value as 2 and stop value as 10. Let's see how it works. First, select a value. From the value the string should begin. Go to fill, go to series, and series in a row. It means that it will generate a pattern in a single row, and type is going to be linear, and the step value is given as a 2. So 1 plus 2, it will throw you 3 as a next value, and then the stop value given here as a 10. So provide 10 here and then click OK. You can see it now. The corresponding string pattern is generated and displayed to the user. The step value is given it as a 2. So 1 plus 2 equal to 3 and 3 plus 2 equal to 5 and goes on. Right? It stops by a 9, but we given the stop value as a 10. So it will try to generate a next string. 9 plus 2 equal to 11. It is greater than the stop value that is provided by a user. So what happens here? When the stop value meets, then the next string won't get generated to the user. So that's why we are seeing it stops by a 9. So any doubts in these two scenarios? Fill series linear, column wise, and then a fill series row wise with a different step value and with a different stop value. Right? So we generated a string pattern now using a fill series, linear. How the same can be achieved without the concept of without the command fill series in a Excel. So let's see how to achieve the same kind of string pattern without using the command fill series. Let's see the scenarios here. So here we have 5 and here we have a 10. So difference between these two values is going to be what? 5. So Excel will consider the difference between the two values as a step value. So it will calculate a step value by subtracting the first value with the second value. So the difference is going to be 5. So Excel will internally consider step value as a 5 and stop value. In this case, we cannot provide any stop value. So from here, drag this and where you are going to stop. That last cell is going to be considered as a stop value when you are doing it without a fill series. Let's see how it works. First, select the two cell values. From here just drag it 15, 20, 25, 30 and goes on. Increment of a plus 5 till the end of a range of your choice. So this way you can able to generate a string pattern in Excel without using the command fill series. Similarly, we can able to generate a string without a fill series with cell formatting as well. So in this case, you cannot create a fill series with a formatting, but here you can able to generate a string pattern with formatting as well. When you call it as a with formatting as well, it will generate a string pattern based on what is the difference between the two values along with what is the formatting that is available. Say for example, select the corresponding range and drag it to the down. You can see that 15 minus 5 is going to be 10. So that is the step value. So 5 is a first number and 15 is the second number. So 5 without a cell formatting and 15 is with a cell formatting. So it will generate one cell with a cell formatting and another cell without a cell formatting and goes on. So it will ignore a one cell and it will apply a conditional formatting in another cell and goes on till you select a range. So able to follow this concept? Everyone able to follow this concept? How to generate a string pattern without using the command fill series? Two types. One is without a formatting and the next scenario is with formatting. Fine. And the next one is going to be without a fill series using a formula. Without fill series command but with a formula. How we can achieve that? So I want to calculate 10% out of a 10 along with adding the value 10. Let's see, 10 plus 10 plus 10% of the previous value. 10 plus 10% of the previous value. So that is the formula we are going to use here. So 10 plus 10% of a 10 is 1. So 11 is going to be the output here. So based on this, let's generate a string pattern now. Drag till end of your range of your choice. And you can see the corresponding output. So it will look for the immediate above value, add above value with 10% of the above value. It is 12.1. So 12.1 plus 10% of 12.1 is 13.31. It will generate till the end. So everyone is able to follow this? How to generate a string pattern without a fill series command, but with a formula. Right? So this way you can able to give a try for a different scenarios in a Excel reporting need to generate a string pattern based on your choice. So you can go with a series command, or you can go without a fill series command, fill series with the formula as well as with the formatting as well. Shall I proceed to the next concept, fill series growth? Fine. So let's move to the next concept here, fill series growth. So growth is equal to a multiply option. So whereas a linear is equivalent to a addition or a summation, whereas growth is equivalent to a multiply option, we do it on a Excel. Let's see this particular option, fill series with a growth. So let's have a value as a 2 here. Let's have a value as a 2, go to fill and go to series, and instead of a row, let's go with the columns and click on a growth. So growth means it will multiply. Step value as, let's make it as a 10. And stop value as 1000. Click OK. So we are getting 220 and 200. How we got that? 2 multiplied with 10. 20 multiplied with 10, 200. And 200 multiplied with 10, it becomes 2000. Right? But we given a stop value as 1000. So it generates a pattern for a 220 and 200 and stops by here. Right? From a 201, 2000, we can't see any values falling into it because it exceeds 1000. So it will ignore the next value. It will print only 220 and 200 based on what is the step value and what is the stop value. Similarly, we'll see another one scenario here. Type as a growth, step as a 2 and stop as a 20. Go to fill, go to series. Let's go with a single row, growth, provide the step value as 2 and the stop value as 20. Click OK. You can see the corresponding string is getting generated. So if you want to make a change, you can go to fill, go to series, and here you can provide the new step value and new stop value. Click OK. It will override the already existing values. 2 and stop value as 100. Click OK. Right. So this way you can able to override the existing string pattern. So or you can call it as a edit or you can call it as a override, because once the string is generated, it is not like a condition formatting or a data validation. We'll select a range and go and edit. So if you use this option, it will override the existing value and then generate the string pattern and displays to the user. Similarly, let's see how to generate a string pattern with a fill series growth without using a fill series command. 220. Here you can see so here you can see this particular option as like in a linear, right? If you try to generate a string pattern for a growth, it won't generate you with the correct expectation, because I will repeat this. 2 and 5. So the difference between these two is going to be what? 3. So it generates a string pattern this way. So it is a linear way of generating a string pattern. If you want to generate it for a multiply, then you have to go by this. We discussed earlier 2 multiplied with previous value. 4 into 2 8 and 8 into 16 and goes on. So by default it will generate a pattern with a linear style, right? So if you want to multiply, you have to provide a formula in such a way accordingly based on your reporting need, and then you can generate a string pattern for a growth, that is multiply option. So it is very similar to the linear. The only difference, instead of a summation, it will do a multiplication. So this is the difference between a two types of fill series. One is a linear and next one is the growth. Is it understandable to all? So let's proceed to the fill series date. So I will repeat this based on based on the query received from a chat window. I will repeat this particular concept once again. See here, you are having a 2 as a value. It's for a growth. Go to series, select first, do it for a columns, select the growth, step value was 2 and stop value was 100. Click OK. You can see that corresponding string pattern is getting generated for a fill series growth type. Similarly, the same can be achieved using without using a fill series growth option also. Multiply 2 with the previous value, it will generate a similar kind of a pattern to the user. Seshagiri, is it able to follow now? Is it fine? Fine. Okay. So let's move to the next topic here, fill series date. So fill series date gains more importance because we are going to discuss more scenarios into it with the different kinds of date unit into it. So let's start with the first scenario with this particular type. So the first one is going to be, I will change the color. Series is going to be columns and type is going to be date, and the first date unit is going to be day, step value 1 and stop value is 12/31/2016. So let's go by this particular scenario. Select the first date, go to fill and click on a series, and then let's go with the series column and type is date, and date unit is going to be first as a day. Let's go with the step value as a 1 as per the scenario. Stop value is going to be end of 2016. So you have to provide the stop value exactly the correct date format. Otherwise, it won't generate the corresponding string pattern. Click OK. Now you can see that corresponding date string pattern is generated and displayed to the user. So we given the step value as a 1. So from December 25, the second string pattern is going to be December 26 and goes on till end of the December month, because we given the stop value as end of a December month. Similarly, let's create a next string pattern with this particular scenario. Columns, date unit as day, step value is 2. Sesagri, could you please elaborate your question? If start date not mentioned, how 25? Sesagri, could you please repeat your question? What is it? Sesagri, that I am repeating this particular scenario to you. See, to generate a string pattern, we should have the start. So user has to provide the start value by default. Otherwise, system won't generate the string pattern. Able to understand this? You have to provide the start value to use the fill series commands. So without a start value, system won't understand from which particular value it has to generate a string. Able to understand this? Fine. So it is not necessarily it should be 12/25. You can provide any date of your choice. You can provide any date of your choice. So let's give it as the end of this particular month. Go to fill, go to series, and then select the columns. Under a date, the date unit is going to be day. This time step value as 2 and stop value is going to be end of this month. So instead of, say for example, the date format is month, date and a year. If I give it in a wrong way, 14 is going to be the month and 01 is going to be the date 2017. Say for example, if I am not following the system date format, I am giving it as a 31/1/2017, considering I want to consider till end of this month. Click OK. You can see that your entry can't be used. An integer or a decimal number may be required. So reason why we are getting this error message, system unable to analyze this particular file format as a date, because the system date is going to be month, date and a year. So here I given it in a different way, that here I given it as a 31. So 31 can't be a month, it is a date. So considering that I given a file format as this, system won't understand this particular file format, because my system file format is different and the date here I passed is different, right? So whatever the file format of the date that is displayed in a particular system, based on that this particular string pattern generation for a date will be working fine. So we have to make the changes. Similarly, if I give it as a just 30, if I provide just 30, click OK, it won't throw you the error message, but it considers the value even though you are not seeing any of the string pattern that is generated to the user. Reason for the same is because even though Excel will not throw you the error message, stop value we given the start of the string as a date, so you have to provide the stop value also should be a date with a exact file format. So then only you can able to let's generate with a column so that we can able to see it better. Column step value was 2 and stop value was 01 31 2017. Click OK. Right. So this way we can able to generate a string pattern for a date with a step value as a 2 and stop value as end of this particular month. See here you can see the rule type that is mentioned over here. Here you can see the rule type. If a start value is greater than a stop value, condition fails. Right? If a condition fails, pattern won't get generated to the user. Right? So that is the scenario we are going to discuss now. Here you can see the stop value as 12/21/2016. Right? Here the start value is 12/25. So start value is greater, but the stop value is lesser. So in this case, let's see how it's going to generate a string pattern. Go to fill, go to series, and provide the stop value here. 12/21/2016. So the start value itself is 25, but we are giving the stop value as 21. So it is lesser value. So what happens? This particular rule type applies. Condition fails, so string won't get generated to the user. So I am just reading the query received. So query from Jalin that can be able to create a series in an opposite way, that is negative series we can able to create or not. Fine. So let's give it a try over here. See, just now I tried creating this. Once again we'll create with a value that is provided by you. Step value as -1, stop value as 12/21/2016, right? Start value is 12/25, the stop value is 12/21. and given the step value as here we have to provide the negative value. Let's look into it. We'll make it as a stop value -2. Go to fill series. -2 is the step value and stop value as 12, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. Let's go with the column. Click OK. Now you can see the string pattern generates in a opposite way from a higher value towards a lesser value based on the step value that is provided by the user. So the step value provided is the negative value, so it subtracts -2 date from the start date and goes on. Jalen, is your scenario solved? Fine. So let's see the next scenario in a date, that is weekday. That is weekday. Series column, type date, and date unit as a weekday, step value 1, and stop value is end of December. Let's start from here. So I repeat, the date unit is going to be weekday here. Go to series and then select as a weekday and provide the stop value as 12, 31, 2016. Click OK. Right. So here you can see it starts from 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30, and you cannot see 31 here. So it stops by 30. Let's see where it falls. So here you can see that 30 is a Friday, whereas 31 is a Saturday. So what happens when we use the date unit as a weekday? It starts generating a string pattern from a Monday to Friday only. It will consider only the weekday. It won't consider the weekend. So Excel considers the weekday only, Monday to Friday. If a date is equal to Saturday or a Sunday, that particular date will be ignored while generating the string pattern here. So here given you the hint why 12/31/2016 is not considered while generating a pattern. Date unit as weekday considers only weekdays, ignores the weekends, Saturdays and the Sundays. So question from Sesagri that what if it is to be included? So what we have to do to consider the weekends as well. If you want to consider the weekends as well, then you can go for the date unit as a day. So day will consider all the dates. Weekday will consider only the weekdays excluding Saturday and Sunday. Able to follow? Seshagri? Seshagri, your question is, if you use a weekday, it will consider only Monday to Friday. Okay. So your question here, what we have to do if you want to consider Saturday and Sunday also? Is my understanding correct to your query? Fine. So I suggested you to use a date unit as a day. Right? If you use a date unit as a day, while generating the string pattern, it will consider Saturday and Sunday also. Able to follow now? Which date unit you have to use if you want to consider all 7 days? Fine. So Jaylin, I am reading your query. Can you please do for December 1st to December end? Fine. So let's do it for December 1st to December end. December 1st value is going to be this. Go to fill, go to series, and then select a column. Select a column, consider weekday, and provide the stop value 12/31/2016. Right? So if we format this particular value into a right. So here you can see Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, ignore Saturday and Sunday, again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and goes on. Right? So able to follow this? So if you want to change it to a date and then a month and then to the year, right? So if you want in this particular format to be displayed, then what we can do here, you have to go to your calendar, date, and time settings. And here you have to change the date and time format. Can you able to see now what is the short date, right? So this is the date which I am following in my system. So if you want, you can change it based on your need. Able to follow this, Jilin? So if you want the system date format to be changed, then you have to change your date and time settings in a system so that you can pass it in a date, month, and then a year format. Fine. So we have remaining two more scenarios in a date. So the next one is date unit month. Date unit as a month. So let's have the start value here. Go to fill, go to series and series in a columns. Let's go with the date unit as a month and the stop value as 12 31 2017. Click OK. You can see that it starts generating a month wise. It starts generating the month wise string pattern and displays it to the user. The same can be achieved. The same can be given a try. We can give a try without using the fill series. And look at the output. It's going to be the same output. If you just drag and drop below, you can see the corresponding string pattern can be generated without using the fill series command. Here, generate a string pattern from current year to the previous year. It is a negative step value. It is a concept of a negative step value. Here you can see 15 to 14, 13, 12, 11, 10 and goes on. Right, so we can able to achieve the particular scenarios that we discussed using a fill series date without a command also. So I am just reading the query received. What is the significance of step value in weekday and a month date unit? Right. So I'll just provide you one scenario for a month date unit. Say for example, you want to send one report. You want to send one report on a 15th of every month. 15th of every month. So you want to generate one follow-up, status report which should contain the same date but with a series of a month. So when you want to create that kind of a string pattern, you can go for a date unit as a month. And business case when we require the weekday. Say for example, you are tracking a timesheet of your team member. So you are not going to track the timesheet of a team member during a weekend. So you want to consider what is the time in office for a weekday. So that time you can able to generate a string only for a weekday. So it depends upon the reporting need. I just given you, few business cases, right? So there are some other cases you want to, send one report to users on a regular basis, like Monday, Wednesday, and then a Friday on each weekday. So alternative days you want to send. So in that case, for a tracking, you are, generating a string pattern. That time you can go for a step value as a 2. right? So these are all some of the business cases. I'm just sharing it with you all. So in that case, the step value 1 or 2 or a weekday or a month is the date you need. Accordingly, you can able to sell it. Able to follow this? So these are all some few business cases where we typically use this particular string pattern to be generated. So the last scenario in a fill series date is going to be the date you need here. Columns. Let's go with here. Twelve 31 2030. Click OK. So with the same date and the same month, year alone will get changed. So you are setting a reminder on a yearly basis. So in that particular case, if you want to generate a pattern, you can go for a date unit as a year with corresponding step value and a stop value. So we have a remaining trend and autofill in a fill series command. So we'll go for a short 5 minutes break. We'll meet again to start from a fill series trend and autofill. So we'll go for a short break. Fine. So we'll meet in another 5 minutes. So I'm just looking into the query received. So what can be done if alternative years are to be generated? So it is same like this particular scenario. Just change the step value to 2. It will generate for the alternative years. Go to fill and go to series. Column wise year and step value instead of a 1, give it as a 2. as the end. Click OK. You can see the alternative years string pattern is generated. So able to follow this now? Fine. So one more query. So can't understand on a linear program. Fine. So one query received for a linear. I will repeat the scenario. The using a percentage. So I will repeat this scenario here. I will repeat the scenario using a formula 10 plus within a bracket previous value, calculate the 10%. That's it, right? So previous value should be added with 10% along with the previous value. So that is the scenario. Able to follow this particular formula? Why we are giving referring to 10 and then why we are adding the previous value with the 10%? Because I want to calculate a value, previous value with 10% of the previous value. So that's why we are passing it this way, right? So from here, if I drag this pattern down, it will start generating pattern using previous value, add the previous value with a 10% out of it, right? So able to follow this now, the percentage concept in a linear? Exactly. Exactly, it is a 110% of the previous value. Exactly. And one more query, what happens if you multiply with 1.1? If you multiply with, say for example, the previous value is 10, multiply the previous value with 1.1, it will be 11, right? So if you generate a pattern using this, you can get the output like this, right? So it's going to be the same output. It's going to be the same kind of a value, right? So I just given it in terms of a percentage. So here we just multiplied with a 1.1, right? So both are going to be the same kind of a output, right? So let's go to the next concept here, fill series. Let's go to the next concept here, fill series trend. First step, provide initial two values to calculate step value. Yes, we provided. Select a range of a cell to generate a pattern of a string, right? And then third step, note, no need to provide the stop value. So that is the difference in a trend. So when you select the range, so it will generate till the end of a range. It will generate till end of a range without providing the stop value. It will consider end of a cell in a range as a stop value internally. Go to fill and go to series. Click on a trend. Click on a trend. You can see that stop value and the step value becomes deactivated. Right, the stop value and the step value becomes deactivated, and then click OK. It will generate you the string pattern by taking step value as difference between the first two values and stop value as what is the end of a cell that is available in a selected range. So it is going to be again the same kind of a string pattern generation, but in a different way, that is using a trend, right? So similarly, fill series autofill. So if we pass the decimal values, the query here, what happens if we pass it using a decimal value? Say for example, 100.5 and here it is 150. So the difference between the two values is going to be 49.5. So it will generate a string pattern based on, here you can see automatically it calculates the step value as 49.5 here. click on a trend, stop value is going to be end of the cell and step value is going to be 49.5. Yes, so able to follow this? It is very similar to the previous scenario with the decimal places into it. And the next one is going to be fill series autofill. It also very similar to the trend. Fill series autofill. So based on the differences available, it will calculate a string pattern. So fill series trend and fill series autofill will both behave in the same way by considering the difference between the two values as a step value and end of a range as a stop value. So anybody has any doubts in fill series growth, date, trend and autofill, whatever discussed so far? Fine. Let's move to the next topic here, something called as justify. So one query received. What about trend in a growth? Let's look back. Go to fill series trend. Let's provide the value here. Fill series, click on a trend. Instead of a linear, let's go with a growth. So the step value is going to be 2. So let's see how it works. Click OK. Here you can see the corresponding trend that is supplied over here. So here you can able to use the trend for a linear or for a growth. It is for a multiply. Yes, able to follow this? It is very similar. Just you have to make the corresponding selection. That's it. So the next scenario here is going to be the justify. Justify and text to 2 columns. Next scenario, text to 2 columns. Both will work in a similar way. It is used to join or split a string. When to use a justify? Justify is used to join a or split a string based on column width. Join or split a string based on the column width. Let's see how it works. So here the given hint as justify will work based on the column width. So here we have one range with a Excel training session 5 Manipal. So here you can see that we have 4 different strings in this particular range with 4 cells. Now we are going to join a string using a concept justify. But we told that justify will work based on a column width. Let's see how it works. If we increase the column width, to some extent now. Go to fill justify. The moment when I click on a justify, you can see that earlier it was a 4 different strings. Now you can see that strings are concatenated. 4 strings are concatenated and displayed as a 2 strings only. How it is joined? based on the column width, it will try to accommodate the cell values. If I again increase this particular column width, again if I increase, let's see what happens. Go to fill and click on justify. You can see that all the strings are concatenated and displayed into as a single string in a single cell. So based on decreasing or increasing the column width, it will split a string or it will join a string. So we increase the column width so that it joined a string. Say for example, if we reduce the column width, go to fill and click on justify. Here you will be getting warning message, text will be extended below selected range. Click OK. You can see that single string is splitted into 4 different strings and displayed to the user. So this way, based on increasing or decreasing a column width, you can able to increase or split or join a string accordingly. Right? So any doubts in justify? Please type yes in a chat window if you understood this particular concept. Fine. So when this particular concept justify can be used. So there are some cases you want to split a string when you are working with a Excel report. So that time based on a column width, you can able to increase or decrease the column width and you can split or join a string of your choice. So alternative approach is available to justify in a better shape. So here based on a column width only we can able to increase or decrease the based on a column width. Here we can able to join or split the string. But the next approach here is going to be one second. So the next approach is going to be the concept of text to columns. So justify is based on a column width only. So without the concept of justify also you can able to split a string. So when we discussed about a string concatenation in session 2, we discussed about how to join a multiple strings from different ways. That we discussed in our session 2. So here we are going to discuss how to split a string, how to split a single string into a multiple string based on a different criteria. So the concept is going to be the text to columns. So here I given you the navigation to the text to columns. Go to data command tab under data tools command set. You can see something called as a text to columns. So text to columns will help us to split a string, single string into a multiple string we can able to make. So here you can see single string. Excel signing session 5 Manipal is the single string that is available. Here if you want to split it into a multiple string, you can go to a text to columns. Here you can see something called as delimited or a fixed width. If I go with a delimited, click next. Here it will ask you what is the delimiter for each string in this particular cell value. So here tab is available, not applicable, semicolon is not available, comma not applicable, space, right? Space is the corresponding delimiter we can use here. You can see the data preview also at the below. You can see the data preview also displayed below. That will show you what is going to be the output. Click next, and here you can see the destination. So where you want the splitted string to be placed. If I click here as a destination and then click on a finish, you can see that this particular string is splitted into 4 different strings based on the space in between each string. Right? Similarly, the next scenario here, semicolon is the separator that is available as a delimiter between each email ID is available here. Go to text to columns, go with delimited, and here go with semicolon. Right? So here you can see the data preview below. Provide the location so that it will split the string and showcase it to the user. Click on a finish. So here you can see what is the email ID that should be displayed after splitting, right? So this way you can able to use text to columns as a command to split a single string into a multiple string. Able to follow this, everyone? Text to columns concept? Fine. So next we are going to see the concept called as fill across. The step-by-step procedure is given here. First, select a range in a worksheet. So before that, I will just showcase this particular sheet. Sheet 2 under sheet 3, you can see these particular 2 sheets are empty now. First, select a range in a worksheet. We selected range. Select, and the next step is select one or more empty worksheets. Sheet 2 and sheet 3 are empty worksheets that is available now. And then go to home and go to editing and go to fill, and you can see across the worksheet is activated now. Click on across worksheet. Here you can see the fill options, all, value alone or format alone. If I click on all, click OK. If I go back to sheet 2 and sheet 3, the corresponding range is copied to the empty worksheet. Similarly, if I select some other work range in this particular sheet, go to fill, across the worksheet. If I click on content only without the formatting, you can see contents will be copied in a next worksheet, right? Similarly, if I want only the format to be copied, select range, go to fill, go to across the worksheet, select only the format, click OK. If I go back to sheet 3, you can see only the format is copied to the sheet. So this is the concept of fill across. Able to follow this concept of fill across all, fill across value, and then fill across the formats only. Fine. So the next topic is going to be a sort and a filter. I'll just read the queries received here. One query here, if no space I will read the latest query here. Shall we select a empty sheet for fill across? Yes. So you can select a empty sheet or a already existing value sheet. Anything is fine. But fill across will copy the range that is selected in a one workbook to the selected worksheet to the same cell address. Right, so it will overwrite the already existing value if we use the existing worksheet, right? So if you want to use the fill across, recommended worksheet is going to be empty only. So one more query here, if no space in a string, how to split using a text to column? Fine, so let's see that scenario here. So here the space is available. Here the space is available. Say for example, if we remove the space, and let's see how we can split text to columns. So when it is no space or no delimiter available, in that particular case, we can go with a fixed width concept. Click next. Here, if you want to split Excel, then just click over here. One arrow symbol will be supplied. Again, after a training, if you want to split, click once, it will insert a arrow symbol. Again, arrow symbol, right? So we are going with a fixed width. If you want to remove any arrows, just double click, it will remove. Single click, it will add. Double click will remove the arrows. And then click next, and then click on a finish. So it will split the string accordingly, right? So able to follow this. If you don't have any delimiters available, you can go for a fixed width concept to split a string. Jaylin, is it understandable? Fine. So the next concept here is going to be sort and filter. So let's first start with sorting. For a sorting, we have to select the entire table. Go to home and under editing command set, you can see something called as a sort and filter. Click on a custom sort. So here it will show you sort by what. Let's go with a region. Sort by what? Let's go with the values. Sort by order. I want the in order Z to A, that is in ascending or a descending order. You can able to select ascending order. Click OK. You can see that data are sorted in such a way based on a region wise. Ascending order, it will display the result. Similarly, again go to the custom sort. If you want to sort one more level, click on a add level. After sorting by a region, sort by what? I want to sort by a department. Here it won't get mixed up because we selected the entire table. To understand better, I just applied a fill color for 3 rows. So whenever we do a sorting, just follow here whether the corresponding complete row is getting sorted or only the range is getting sorted, right? So to understand that, I just applied a fill color to the 3 rows. If you select the entire range, it will sort only the entire row only. It won't sort only the row. After sorting by a region, I want to sort by a department. Click OK. So after sorting by a region, it will start using a department. Similarly, one more step, add level. So if you want to add a new level as a third position, then you can use up arrow and a down arrow to move up or move down at any point of a time. And again, let's go with the rate. So rate, you can see cell color, font color and a cell icon. So say for example, I want to go by a cell icon, and you can see list of available cell icons here, right? So I want to sort by red down arrow first, on top or a bottom. So based on your choice, you can provide. Click OK. Accordingly, it will get sorted and displayed to the user. So this way you can able to play around with sorting available here. At any point of a time, you can add the level or you can delete the level. If you want, you can copy the level as well. If I click on a copy level, the same level copied, and you can make the changes based on your choice. Right? So if you want to delete any level, just click on a delete level. It will delete a corresponding level that is selected by a user, and then click OK. So this way you can able to play around with different kind of sorting that is available. Different levels of sorting you can able to make it in Excel. So any doubts in sorting? Shall we proceed to filter? Fine. So let's move to the next topic here, that is concept of filter. For a filter also, we have to select the entire table first. Here already filter is applied. Let me remove it. We'll start from the beginning. Go to editing. Again, sort under filter. Select a filter option. The moment when you click on a filter option, you can see that filter option is applied to the header of a table. So filter can be done for a text, filter can be done for a number or a date or for a color. Color with 3 different types: font color or a cell color or a icon, text color. So any of the color we can choose. Right? So let's go to the first level of filter. Let's go with the text filter. Here you can see what is the unique region name that is available. Unique region name that is available. You can select any one of a region that will be displayed to the user. If you want to select a multiple region, click one more region, click OK. You can see the corresponding region value. If you want to display it to the all, select all, click OK. It will display the entire one. So this is one way of text filter, and the next way you can see text filters. So these are all the commands available under a text filter. You can play around with whatever the filter of your choice. Say for example, I want to filter that contains a value OR. click OK. You can see that wherever the cell value that contains the OR, that will be filtered and displayed to the user. Right. So similarly, if you want to remove this particular filter, you can see here clear filter from a region. Just click on it, you can see all the filters are removed. Similarly, the next filter type is going to be the number. Let's do it for a sales. Filter for a number. It is a number filter. So I want the value that is top 10. Top 10 alone I want to filter. Click OK. You can see that the sales that performed well, that particular row item alone filtered and displayed to the user. So the top performed sales alone filtered and displayed to the user. Similarly, I want greater than or equal to. I want greater than or equal to 50,000. The sales that is performed greater than or equal to 50,000 alone want to be displayed. You can provide that will show you what are all the sales that is performed greater than or equal to 50,000. At any point of a time, you can click clear filter from a sales, that will clear all the filters that is applied. Right. Similarly, the next filter type is going to be the date. Select date. So if you go by a between, let's give it as I want the sales performed from June. It is 1st of June 2016 to August 31st 2016. So I want to apply a filter to the date from 1st of June to end of August. That alone to be displayed to the user. Click OK. You can see that date filter is applied accordingly, and whatever the date condition you provided, based on that, data will be filtered and displayed to the user. Similarly, at any point of a time, you can unfilter it, or you can click, come down, you can see the one more option here. It will group the filter by year, and if you want to show what is the sales performed in the month of July, click July month alone, click OK. You can see the sales performed by a July month, that alone will be displayed. So if you want to see the split up of a date, what are the dates the sales is performed the month of July, that will be displayed. If you want to see 8th July performance, select and you can able to see the filter only for that particular time period. So this way you can able to play around with the date filter, and the final filter is going to be the color. So color filter can be done with 3 different types: font color, cell color, or a icon state color. Let's go with the rate filter by a color. So you can see filter can be done by a cell color. 3 different cell colors available and 1 font color type available, and there are 5 different cell icon types available. If I go by this, you can see Based on the icon set color, the rate is filtered and displayed to the user. If I want to go by font color, you can see font color filter. So similarly, if I want to go with a cell color, you can select a cell color. So this way you can able to play around with different kinds of color filters available in Excel, right? So we have one more very important topic here, that is advanced filter. So advanced filter is available. So Smita, answering to your question, that can we copy the result of the filter to the new cells? Yes, you can able to copy the result of a new cell and place it in some other location of your choice. Say for example, if I go by color filter here, if you want to copy the filter data, you can copy the data and then you can paste like this, right? So when you copy a data in a Excel, by default you can see that only the visible cells will be copied and pasted, right? So able to follow this, Smita, you can able to copy at any time and you can place it in some other location of your choice. And the next topic is going to be the advanced filter. So advanced filter, there are two different ways we can use the concept of advanced filter in Excel. So for that, the mandate is you should have some table with you with the header, and the next one is going to be the table with the table header with the criteria alone. So here you can see the quantity should be greater than or equal to 20 and sales should be greater than or equal to 25,000. So based on these particular two criteria, I want the data to be filtered. So that is the case. So what is the navigation to the advanced filter? Go to data, under a sort, under filter, click on advanced. So here you can able to make two different kinds of action. So one is filter the list in place and next one is copy to another location. So let's see one by one. Let's go with filter the list in place. List range is going to be this. The table 1 is going to be the list range and the criteria range is going to be this. So this particular criteria range should contain the same table structure with a header and without any values, only the criteria into it. And here you can see something called as a unique records only. If you select unique records, duplicate records will be ignored, only the unique rows will be considered. Click OK. Now you can see that quantity greater than or equal to 20, that row item with along with the sales should be greater than or equal to 25,000. So based on that, values are selected here. So based on that, values are selected over here, filtered and displayed to the user. So if you want to clear it, if you click on a clear button here, it will clear all the criteria. Say for example, we just filter the data in the master table and displayed here only. So say for example, I want the data to be filtered and placed in some other location. How we can do that? Go to advanced, list range is selected, correct, and criteria range, let's select criteria range is selected now, and here click on a copy to another location. Right, copy to another location. It will ask you where to copy the data. So let's provide the reference here. Click OK. You can see that it won't disturb the master table. From here, it will extract the table based on our condition and then display it to the user in a separate location. So two different ways we can use to achieve this particular concept of advanced filter. Apply advanced filter to the master table itself, or you can able to copy the data from a master table to some other location based on the criteria we supply. Subtotal, can we subtotal here? Yes, you can able to do a subtotal. So subtotal concept we are going to discuss in detail in our next session. Right. So here, so the criteria whatever we provided, it is not limited to only the quantity and sales. So user can able to provide a criteria to the all the fields. User can able to provide a criteria to all the fields that is available in a particular table. It will work fine. So able to follow the concept of advanced filter? Please type yes in a chat window if you understood the concept of advanced filter. Fine. So the next topic for the day is going to be the grouping. So to understand the concept of a grouping, let's have a couple of worksheets with no data into it. So couple of worksheets we have with no data into it. Select the worksheets. So select the new worksheet which should not contain any values into it. So for example, if I type here as my dummy sheets created, press tab. Now go to sheet 3. Now go to sheet 3 and sheet 6. We entered our data in a cell M5. Look at the M5 cell. You can see that my dummy sheet created, that will be available, right? Similarly, again select a sheet. So if you select a multiple sheets, then it is called as a grouped sheets. So whatever the action you make it, whatever the actions you make it in a one sheet, that will be applied to the next sheets as well. So here you can see there is no values that is copied, but you can see the selection because we selected from here and pasted below, right? So here also it will try to look for the values here and pasted below. Since there is no values, you can see only the selection. without a values into it. Right? If I type formatted cell along with, if I provide a fill color, if I provide a some font color, if I provide a bold into it, so whatever the formatting we did, go back to the sheet, say look for E35. Look at E35, the same is applied here also, right? Similarly, I will tell you where this particular grouping will be beneficial. Where this particular grouping will be beneficial. Select the entire cell and change the row height to a 20 and change the column width as a 21 and click OK. Go back to a sheet 3. The same formatting can be applied. So if you work with the grouping will consider formatting, grouping will consider the contents available in a cell as well. So whatever the action, whatever the formatting we do it in a one sheet, the same can be applied to the sheets that are grouped. If you right click, you can see ungroup a sheet. It means that these particular 3 sheets are grouped now. If I ungroup the sheet and then if I come down and make any changes, I typing it as a my change in a B11. If I look for B11 here, nothing is available because it is not grouped now, right? So this is a concept of grouping in a Excel. So able to follow the concept of grouping in a Excel? Concept of a grouping and where we can use this? Fine. So today we discussed about fill series, linear, growth, date, autofill, and extend. So 5 different topics in a fill series, and we discussed about a justify, and we discussed about a fill across, we discussed about a filter and a sorting, discussed about a advanced filter and the grouping, right? And I will just look into the query received. How to select sheets in a grouping? So you can select by using control. Just press and hold a control key. Just select a sheet. You can see that highlighted sheets will be in a white fill color. Right? Press and hold a control key. That will select you the multiple worksheets. Keep selecting, it will select a multiple sheets. Right? So this is the topic that we planned for today. One second, I am just reading the query here. So, Sachin, I'm just read your query that. So you're asking about how to replace a number to a word, right? So say for example, I want to replace 1 to a ONE, right? From a number to a text. So there is no such a kind of function available in Excel to convert a number into a text. So if you want this particular action to be performed, then you have to write a macro for the same. So you have to write a macro for the same to get this particular outputs. So there is no predefined function available in Excel to do the same. And one more query, where do we use grouping, right? So grouping, as I told now, if you select a multiple sheets, right, when you open a new workbook, you want to format the cell rows, that is row height and a column width. If you want to format, you can use a grouping. Or if you are creating any template, whatever the action you are doing it on a one cell, if you want the same to be applied to the all the remaining worksheets, so that time you can go for a grouping. Fine. So we are done for the topics for today. So I will just give you the heads up for a next session. So next session is going to be very important session because we are going to see VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, functions related to a text, date and a time, and then very importantly data validation and watch window commands and error handling. So this is the plan for next week. So we are done for the day. We'll meet again in session 6 next week. So practice well. I am going to share this particular file to you all. We'll meet again next week. Till then, bye all. Have a nice weekend.